In this third video about Control Tools toolbar, we are going to present the actions, Excel actions present in the last part and the green part of this part of the ribbon. Starting with hide and hide at the top. Hide and hide shows a dialog box to select which sheet. If I want to make these sheets hidden, I can unselect them and apply, and now they are hidden. I can make more hidden and apply, and then you have only a few left, and I can see which one are visible, not visible, selected visible, unselected hidden. I can make them all visible and hide all. I can also access this directly in unhide all. I can also choose to hide other, and then I have only one visible. For one sheet, I can also choose to unhide rows, columns that will unhide and decompress or deaggregate all the columns and rows. The last. The print header footers will change the printing format. For instance, if we see that sheet is not ready to be printed, nothing is prepared. If I click on print header footer, it's not so fast to change the settings for printing. But now I have Moitency controlling. I have the complete link where the file is placed, including I think the name of the sheet and the date and time, and it is prepared to be printed on one sheet, just one. So that was print header footers. This little button here is quite useful because if you are on a file, even if it's not saved anywhere, it's just a new file, you can click on email Excel file and it attaches the file into a new email, and it's ready to be sent. You can place your signature. You have to type an object. It doesn't write the mail for you, and you have to place who do you want to send it to, a title, and blah blah. So this is, but we are coming to change. Change is for instance, I can change these values to formulas. If I want to make them, I'm going to see in the presentation. It turns numbers into formulas for selected text. It allows to fix values for a submit sheet where you don't want to lose your values. When the values are placed after formulas, they cannot be lost so easily. The dot function will place a dot before text. Then it becomes some kind of comment for Essbase, and it's not recognized. If it was a member for Essbase before, then it's not. And trim will remove spaces at the beginning and end of text string. So it will allow to remove the indentation, for instance. In the values menu, the top button will convert all formulas into values for the selected cells, but it cannot be undone, unlike if you copy paste values. So you have to do it with caution. Text values will turn text string into a numeric value when possible. For instance, this will become this. Convert cognos will allow to change an extraction, and it will for this column it will repeat the members. Convert SAP numbers. If you, for instance, you have some figures where the minus is placed at the end, it will be changed into a real figure. You also have a function to round values. You will get an input box asking how many digits you want, but you will have, for the selections, you will have rounded values to the digits, number of digits you want. There are some 2-3 functions that are useful if you want to replace zero constants with missing values, or with minus sign values. And this will replace all numeric values, all numeric constants on the sheet with missing signs, minus. And the last one will turn all values of cells into comment of cells. If you want, for instance, to type something into a cell where that can be refreshed with a numeric value, you can type directly in that cell and ask for that values to comments, and you delete it, and you will be able to refresh the value over it. It makes it possible also to paste these comments elsewhere. We have some formulas. For instance, this function will create a percentage variance formula based on the 2 previous columns. This is the variance between the 2 columns before. I can move it so that I can create also one for the 2 previous, and then I have a column of lag between the 2. And if I use the second, I can create a third cell based on the 2 previous percentage columns. Then I have here 6.3 points between 10.9 and 4.5 of progression. And this is the variance between 2 percentage. I have a formula to extract code. I can show. If I have something with space and another part of comment, this formula will keep just what is found before the first space. There are some formats to format numbers. I can click on the very button itself, but I can also ask for 1, 2, or 3 digit figures after the comma. If I have 0 values, if I take away I take away the formats. If I have 0 values on my sheets, I can ask for the 0 display to be turned on or off. Each time it's set on or off. And there is a control format where if your control is equal to 0, if it's not formatted, and if it's different of 0, it will be bold red. Red font and border and when different of 0. So this is for control. There is a function in special. What I can do is select visible allows to select visible cells only when you're on a filtered list. I don't know if it works that way. Maybe not so easy. Select visible, and I copy, and I go somewhere else. You said I have copied only what was visible, and not what was in the hidden rows. I can create an outline based on space indentation, and I can optionally decrease font size from a proposed value for level 1. It has to be tried. I can take it away. If I choose to Control Tools, create outline, create an outline based on indentations, based on space members. There are 4 levels identified, 4 columns to be formatted. The totals are below. Yes, I have to enter this. Yes, the totals are below. Because they were obtained by zoom in. Do I want to change the font size? I'm going to click no. To decrease font size, I will choose to decrease level font size for level lower member. And I will keep space, yes. For indent. I will not remove all the spaces by trimming. And this is what I get. I get a layout with lower font for the lower levels. I can also trim it, but it cannot be undone. That was an example for create outline. There is also a function that allows to border identical figures or cells. For instance, if you have something that repeats in the rows, If you click on to border identical, then you have a border that is interrupted when the figure when the text or the elements are the same. And there is a final final menu that allows to unhide all hidden names in a workbook. I'm going to unhide all. One name has been unhidden. There is a total of 31 names in the workbook, which is not so much. Then it's more. 733 names were unhidden. It's meant to do some cleaning. So if I go back to Anika file where there was much more, you see that I have some hid names that are big toxic, and you have now the chance to remove them from there. You can also ask to remove incorrect name range names. It will only delete names in the where it addresses a value that is not determined. I had 135 names deleted in that file. Okay, so let's see now. There still are many names, but they are still correct. There is still some cleaning to do. And the guided tour, it allows to give visit of the selectable range names. Filter database. It gives you a tour, but there are many names. They may not be possible to select. It's not really useful for the printing zone, but better when you use the names inside your workbook. The range names. I don't see any in that one. No, there are not so much. Thank you. That was the last part.